Did you know that you can make smoked salmon with vodka? Check this out. This is awesome. So let me share how this one came about. I stumbled across this recipe years ago with my Traeger and have not stopped using it since. It's so easy, yet it produces some amazing stuff. A cup of vodka, a cup of brown sugar, a tablespoon of black pepper, and half a cup of salt, which I tend to just kind of minimize on the salt end of it. But it's so simple. You take your fish, you take all your ingredients, you mix them together, refrigerate for a few hours. Typically I do overnight, set it on the grill, and start the process. So we're going to dive right into how we go about doing this. We have our awesome fish from just the other day, fresh out of the saltwater. And we're going to take our vodka, just some cheap vodka from Costco. Truly, you don't have to go do anything expensive. And then you're going to get some brown sugar. I just like doing the 5-pound bags from Costco. It's the cheapest option and best out there. Then I got a shaker of some coarse ground pepper. And then you're going to need a couple other items that are going to help you out. You're going to want your salt to do it to taste more or less. A couple measuring cup devices. They're going to need a fillet knife to portion up your fish. And a Ziploc baggie to put it all into, because you're going to want to do a little bit of mixing. Now, what I found to be truly the best part of making this really, really good is by portioning up these into about 1-inch sections. What this does is it allows the brine to really get in between each of those pieces. So if you're going to a party or making your own portion sizes, it really gets the cure through everything. And even in the smoking process, it makes a huge difference to the quality of your end product. So now you got your portions divided up. You're going to go ahead and take in now to a baggie. These are the 1-gallon Ziploc bags. Works perfect for, this is basically one fillet of fish. So we're going to put all those in. Then we're going to start to portion out. Now what I like to do is meat side to meat side. I don't like doing the skin to the meat side, but it really doesn't matter because you're putting vodka on everything. So that's going to kind of take any flavor discrepancies out of skin to meat touching. Now there's 1 cup. Now it calls for 1 cup of vodka per 1 pound of fish. This was a 12-pound Coho, so each of those fillets are pretty substantial. So I'm doing 2 cups of the vodka to make sure it's all going to be in there and getting nice and coated. Now, what I like to do is I set that aside for a little bit, and that'll allow me to then prep and get the ingredients together. Especially on this one, I saved some belly strips. This is a very highly underutilized portion of the fish when you're trimming things up, as well as the collars. I hear many good things, so we're going to try some salmon collars up and get those also in there as well. So we're going to have some of these extra special pieces with high fat content portions and some amazing quality that comes out of these portions. So as you see there, we're just kind of filling in the last bits of that. We're going to have a separate bag there with all of those pieces together. So we're going to do a little bit of more of the vodka for this one, just to kind of get it more or less coated. Not really measuring this at all on that one. Don't really need to. So then we're going to baggie these up, kind of get it mixed around for a few minutes, and I let it sit for maybe 10-15 minutes just with the vodka on it, and I will prep the other ingredients and get them ready, because this allows that initial setup. Like I said, when you portion out the fish, it allows for that vodka to start doing its thing. I really do feel the vodka helps in setting up the brine to be ready to help really accept what you're going to do for the curing process. So what the recipe then calls for is to mix all the ingredients dry with the vodka. So we got 1 cup of brown sugar there. Now, frankly, because you are doing a 1-to-1 ratio for the vodka to the brown sugar, I'm going to end up adding a secondary cup just to make sure that I got enough of that in there. So this brine in itself, right, is going to ultimately be a little bit sweeter. It makes more of a candied salmon, which I frankly love. You can add some more things if you really would like to, as far as garlic, or play around with some of the other flavorings to season. But for the most part, frankly, this is truly all you need to make some fantastic product. Now you're going to take your black pepper to taste, and I really like the peppered salmon, so I put quite a bit in there, probably more than it's asking for in the direction recipe. But again, do it to your liking, do it to your taste. A little more salt, and then you're going to put this all together and set it aside. Now again, this calls for a 2 to 4 hour window of letting this cure. At the time of doing this video, this was done overnight to properly set up and give itself enough time, which I really feel makes a difference in really getting that product to be well cured, well ready, more or less, to be on the grill. You can do it in less time, but I really feel like you get a better product out of it. So I'm gonna do the same thing here for the other belly meats, the collars, and we're gonna speed this up real quick and do that. So again, 1 cup, a little bit of salt, add our pepper, and I noticed that there was maybe a little more of the dry ingredients in this that wasn't really matching up with the amount of liquid, so just finished off the last maybe 1/4 cup that was left there to really get in the consistency that I wanted. And after that point, I mean, you're pretty much left with now these bags ready to go sit in the fridge. So I have them on this aluminum baking tray. We're going to put them in the fridge, going to be able to let them marinate, and we'll check them periodically. Now, timing of that is completely up to you, but I like doing it every hour.
1 hour later.
Then we'll flip them over, be able just to make sure that it's getting cure on everything and not one side getting a better adhesion to it all than the other. Make it quick and easy, put them back in. It's all looking really good and setting up. You can see how that all kind of compiles together on one side. Now, here's the coolest part. As we get to the grill, I think this is the thing that sets this recipe out apart. Right, 2 to 4 hours on cure time. We're now going to set these fish on the Traeger, and it only needs to smoke these things for a little bit over an hour or so. Obviously, based on your temperature, you can see how things are and what it looks like.
1 hour later.
All right. These are done to perfection. Dang, that's so good. Put it on a little bit of crackers and some cream cheese. And that's the salmon belly. One of the most underrated spots that most people forget to smoke. But absolutely phenomenal. And there you have it. Who knew you can make vodka smoked salmon? You try it out for yourself and let me know what you think. My favorite recipe. If you want to see the fish that we were catching for some of the smoked fish, check out the video right here. Otherwise, tight lines and fish on.